Everyone, welcome to a new episode of Crypto Tips AMA session number 2. If you guys missed the first one, check out the video that came out just before this. Anyway, Toby, what do you want to keep?
Okay, check this out really quickly before we start. I like looking at world news and seeing where central banks are going to be headed. Okay, and sure. I've seen this ramp up more and more. Okay, this is on Zero Hedge. A record 34% of all household income in the U.S. now comes from the government. So
34%.
34%. Like, there's money print or currency printing. This is crazy amounts of currency printing. So, like I said with a video before this, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I talk about why Bitcoin could literally just keep going and going because of currency printing. Like, there's going to be more currency printing than ever now because you have an economy that's pretty much stagnant, and you have to give people currency so they can buy some food. This is what we're seeing. I see universal basic income coming in big time for a lot of nations, not just the U.S., but from around the world. So I expect a lot of people to be really fearful, especially big money, and they are going to place their reserve assets into, or reserve cash into Bitcoin because, regardless of what the price does, it's the supply of coins pretty much stays the same. It doesn't really, they can't print up a bunch of more currency. They have to adhere to the Bitcoin algorithm. So yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Thank God for Bitcoin. Anyways.
Another t-shirt idea.
Exactly.
TGIB.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Gift. All right, let's get into these questions. Again, if you missed the first one or the first several of these AMAs, these questions are sourced from our Patreon members. If you want to know what we offer there, go to patreon.com/cryptotips and you'll get all the deets. Anyway, here's the first question. Hi guys, how much X do you think we still have left in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano during this bull run? Like, how many X's do we have? Like 10X, a million X? Also, they say, these are the coins I'm holding during this cycle. Also, do you think there is still going to be a 10X potential in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or ADA in the next bull cycle in 2024, 2025? Is it still going to be worth investing in these coins in the next cycle? Thank you so much. You two are the best. I've learned a lot since I joined your channel. Oh, cool.
Okay, so how much
Someone
X?
needs to learn how to zoom out.
Yeah, okay.
For sure.
Mean, they're called fractals, right? So if you look at the chart from 2013, 14, you see the little blip from like $70, which is, or yeah, $70 to $90, which is when I bought it. And I remember it going to $1,150. Yeah, and then back down. But if you look at, if you pan out and you look at the chart from then to now, you can barely see the little 10x that Bitcoin had done way back when. And so, like, I think we're experiencing what you call fractals. And so I see like the next bull run potentially being potentially much bigger than this. But the thing is, like, it's really interesting because I'm always discussing this with Heidi and my friends. Like, I see so much big money interest involved with this. I see the whole world of like kind of accepting it, other than like Charlie Munger and all the other
the guys that
knuckleheads that are actually buying it behind the scenes, but they want to talk bad about it right now, kind of like Jamie Dimon did. So with that said, I see like it could potentially go to $1 million a coin.
In this cycle?
This cycle, it could if it hits a super cycle, then yes, but for me, I don't think it's going to hit that high.
We're always talking about a super cycle. The time frame for a super cycle is like 10 years.
Yeah, it could go up for a while.
So it's not like $1 million by like the end of 6 months.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a long-term thing. And also just to address what they're saying, like, is it still going to be worth investing in these coins in the next cycle for us?
Yes.
Bitcoin and Ethereum? Yeah. Cardano? Maybe. They don't even have smart contracts out yet. I am hopeful for Cardano. yeah, that's all anyone can be at this point. It's anyone who's buying Cardano is purely out of speculation because you can't actually use it yet for its, end game intentions, right? Because they don't even have smart contracts yet.
Yeah, but when smart contracts do come out, I think it'll be.
Yeah, then we can talk about it.
Potentially hit a 10x.
Then we can talk about it. But
no, not from here. I don't think. I mean, you have to look at the market cap too, because
it's a huge amount of coins.
It's a ridiculous market cap already. So if you're thinking
supply is
10x
massive.
that's really high.
Yeah.
I would expect maybe like $5 to $8 to $10 this
for
bull run.
Cardano.
Yeah, this on Cardano. I mean, that's just guessing, really.
Is that for this bull run or ever?
This bull run, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And then, especially if they come out with their smart contract and they're on time,
Yeah.
then that could drive
We'll see
it
if
to
that happens in July or not. We'll see.
As far as Bitcoin, yeah.
Always a good time to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, always a good time. Don't worry about how many X's it's going to do, because it will reach that eventually.
It's just a matter of time.
Yes, absolutely. With ETH, I'm incredibly bullish at it. It just hit 3,000 today.
Yeah.
And so I'm not selling anything of that. I think it's great. I've been saying this. I've been getting a lot of heat from a lot of my friends, like, hey, ETH isn't doing anything. Look, it's,
I mean, we were kind of saying that too. It's been kind of boring.
Yeah, it's been boring, but
not that
still,
it's
we
dead.
never sold our position.
Not that it's dead, that we gave up on it. We're just
a lot of people sold their position.
bored.
I'm like, guys, like, that's really dumb. You guys are going to be buying back. And guess what's happening? Some of my friends are buying back right now. I'm like,
some people like to chase a trend.
Like,
That's all.
I hate being on the trend bandwagon.
Okay.
Anyways.
Next, your thoughts on the technology. Okay, this is an interesting question.
Okay.
Stepping slightly outside of cryptocurrency for a second. Your thoughts on technology age we are about to enter and how this is going to affect crypto and also us as people, as well as our lives in the future. Learning about crypto as well as others up and coming technology like AI, self-driving cars, and also the Starlink program, which introduces free internet to the world, gets me excited for the possibilities, but also scared for the consequences. Your thoughts?
Let me start this off.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm making the prediction right now that any child born today is never going to experience paper money. They will never have a driver's license.
Or bank account.
They will never have a bank account. They'll never step foot in a bank. They will never buy stock, because stocks are so outdated. Like nobody, no millennial or even millennial is really going to, later on is going to put up with, or even before that, is going to put up with buying stocks. You can't even send a Apple certificate across the world at a fraction of a cost. That's a joke now. Like, come on, guys. Like, traditional finance is dead, in my opinion. Like, who's going to want to hold on, or who's going to want to get into something that they give you a stock certificate, which you probably aren't going to actually see? People are going to want to hold their private keys, guys. And so there's so many different areas
Hopefully.
with this. As far as like the Starlink,
AI.
and AI, there's some dangerous stuff happening. I see, Elon Musk and his Neuralink.
I don't want to think about that.
I mean, who knows what happens?
so
I mean,
crazy.
DARPA's creating other stuff.
My thoughts on this is just like any kind of technological development anywhere, it can be used for the good or for the control, right? Like for the evil or whatever, for special interests. Just like the internet, we had this conversation yesterday talking about, the internet is like the great equalizer. It levels the playing field. It's a huge opportunity that never existed before, especially now looking at global lockdowns and brick and mortar businesses hugely suffering. Earning money online is becoming more and more and more available. And especially matching that with cryptocurrencies is like stupid easy at this point. But anyway, and the flip side of that is the opposite as well. It's like there's, this concept of surveillance, of privacy erosion, of you have to learn how to use these tools for your benefit and work around the system. The system's always going to be there, but if you can pay attention to the loopholes and I highly recommend any of you that are interested in things like this, check out the cypherpunk movement, read the Cypherpunk Manifesto, published in 1993 by Eric Hughes. It's such a good read. And this was written in 1993, worked on far before that, you know, when the internet was still just kind of taking off, and they could have the foresight for, you know, the privacy erosion that comes with something like mass communication and flowing of information. So, yeah.
So there's a great book called The Sovereign Individual.
Yes.
And here's one of the quotes from there.
Oh, good.
Cyberspace is the ultimate offshore jurisdiction. And now what that means is, like for us, we are working online. We have our pretty much our net worth in
sovereign locations, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And so, like, you know, we're able to kind of maneuver our way around even taxes. We don't pay taxes anymore.
Completely legal way.
In a completely legal
so
way.
many people want to throw it.
We can live wherever we want because of the fact that we have internet access.
Yeah.
And so, and you know, like, governments hate that crap, and the nanny state hates it. And, you know, we figured our way around it. And so if you want to do that, this book is written in, what was it, 1990 or something?
1991, I think.
1991, yeah. And it's
The Sovereign Individual.
And it's spot on. And it shows, even like with what's happening today, it shows the nanny state or the nation state losing. Like, people actually, you know, can live free lives regardless of whether or not these certain governments want to lock down their citizens or whatever. You can escape that stuff. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. There's a lot more we can talk about that probably.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll save that for another stream.
Sure. Sounds good.
Or a book.
Yeah, that might. Hey, when are you going to finish your book, by the way? You could have put this
I'm working
in
on it.
Okay.
Okay. Do you guys think, next question.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it's worth it or financially wise, well, those are two different things, to participate in these high APR yield farms on exchanges with altcoins like PancakeSwap? Or is the risk of impermanent loss or one of the altcoins crashing outweighing the rewards? I've always been unlucky trading, but have made a very small amount so far yield farming, and if compounded, I see potential. Trying to figure out a passive income stream. Thanks in advance.
Probably just throw some, you know, dust in certain farms, you know, and see how it goes. For instance, I'm farming on PancakeSwap. I really like it. I farm on Raydium, and I really like that, and it's great. You know, I'm having a lot of fun because you're doing stuff that banks used to only be able to do. This was never available to like average people like us. So yeah, take it. I mean, if you have the time to learn about it, and you have enough money that to where you don't mind losing some, go for it, because it's a learning experience too. It's like, guys, like this right here, what we do is more advanced than anything I ever learned in college and university.
Oh, for sure.
And so, guys, like this is the most brilliant time to learn and to understand that, wow, I'm getting so much further ahead than 99% of the world's population.
Can you imagine if you took your tuition and you use that to like believe in yourself, you know, like invested in yourself?
Oh my gosh. I always told my mom, I'm like, hey, you know what, if I knew better, I would have taken the college tuition and started 4 companies. And
even if they all
failed, I would be so much better off than when I had to start from scratch.
You would have learned a lot if you were paying attention. I'm sure there's people who start businesses and have no idea why they failed.
I went to a college that literally, they taught me the last semester at Point Loma Nazarene University. Yes, I'm calling them out. And they taught me how to build a resume. And I'm like, this is so dumb.
And
like,
you're a business major.
Why am I wasting my time to work for somebody? Why can't you teach me how to make money from that works for me? Yeah, just what a waste. Anyways.
Yeah,
I hope they see that.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
We'll see. But okay, just getting back to also, you know, weighing, is it financially wise versus the risk? Impermanent loss is certainly a risk. And keep that in mind. So definitely, as we're always saying, always be hedging, decentralize your options. Don't put it all into one particular farming situation if you can, or platform or coin or anything.
No, not if you can. Just don't ever put it all in. Don't ever put it all in.
You're just giving yourself way more stress than you need to, in my opinion.
I could not sleep at night.
Okay, next question. Is it possible that we never enter, this guy is after Toby's heart. Is it possible that we never enter a real bear market before the next Bitcoin halving? I mean, of course, at some point we will face bigger dips, but I don't see anything like the last one happening anytime soon. It might be the fact that I'm really new to this space, but with the upcoming mass adoption and the utility that was and will be implemented, I just can't see that happening. Maybe I'm too optimistic.
You might be right. I mean,
might be optimistic.
but you might be right. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. Nobody knows. Like, even the best YouTuber in the world does not know this stuff. Okay, like they just don't. Like, Bitcoin could go to $1 million, like I said. But you know, I'm taking one step at a time. I want to look at different aspects of the market, like exchange outflows, inflows. You know, I think that's really important. I want to see sentiment.
Yeah.
I want to see, big money stop going into that, if that's what the case is.
But this is interesting, actually, this whole concept of the next Bitcoin halving. If we don't see a bear market before the next Bitcoin halving, like we're still seeing higher highs and higher lows, that I think is the kind of solidifying signal that we are in a super cycle. So definitely pay attention to that. Pay attention to that countdown clock for the Bitcoin halving countdown, and see how the market's doing.
Exactly.
Because the Bitcoin halving has been kind of, you know, that signifier of it has a lot to do with, you know, the economics of Bitcoin, with miners, selling pressure, establishing a new floor, and that's always kind of set the stage for the next bull run. Like, that's what we saw happen in May 2020 is what happened. So cool point. Let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely keeping an eye on it. I'll let everybody know.
Yeah.
When I'm taking profit up. But guys, I'm not going to touch my Bitcoin. I'm not going to touch it. It's probably be the
not
dumbest
even going to
thing.
tickle it.
Nope. Nope. Like, everything else I'll sell a little bit of, but Bitcoin, heck no.
Yeah.
That's just no way. That's hands off.
Yeah. Okay, next question. On wallets. Ledger makes me a bit uneasy, as I've had USB devices go bad over the years. What other wallets would you recommend? Crypto.com, Gemini Wallet, Exodus, etc. I watched your Binance video and it has me a bit concerned on having any funds on exchanges. Thanks again. Always love the content. I'll cover it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Sure.
What do you
I was just going to say, like, even if your USB device gets destroyed or stolen or anything, doesn't mean that that your funds are gone. It doesn't even mean that the thief could steal it or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty secure, especially if you set it up correctly, but I'll let you.
Yeah, absolutely right. And if you're curious on how to do that, how to deal with a situation if your ledger is lost, stolen, broken, whatever, did a video on it. So do a quick search for that, like, help, what if my wallet is stolen or lost or whatever, basically is what the title is. But yes, you are right. USB devices do go bad over the years. I had a ledger that I bought in 2015 and it started malfunctioning a lot. I think I probably dropped it or something stupid and it just wasn't working right. So you have to replace it. It is a physical device. It will deteriorate over time. It's not it's not like a paper wallet or, you know, where you just generate the private keys and you store that in an ultra secure fashion. Like there's companies like CryptoSteel where you have, you know, a way to store your private key that's like rust proof, corrosion proof, waterproof, everything proof basically. Ledger wallets they're certainly not marketed to last forever. They are, in my opinion, the best combination of security and usability with your cryptos. If you're using a cold, like completely cold storage, like a paper wallet, you're not dipping into or interacting with those coins. You're literally either, just funding that wallet just one-sided until that one time you're ready to cash everything out, or you are, just saving it for generational wealth to pass on to your kids and grandkids. That's basically the situation. If you're thinking of, like decades on a ledger, it's not going to be on the same ledger device for sure. So you're going to have to stay updated on the firmware of it, and also keep in mind it is plastic, you know what I mean? And it's physical, so it's going to degrade over time. Basically, every different type of wallet has its own use case. With Crypto.com or Gemini Wallet or Coinbase Wallet or Coinbase app, whatever. They're integrated with that exchange, so you can buy and sell coins pretty easily with it. I wouldn't say they're the most privacy concerning cryptocurrencies. Exodus, also, I know you can do trades within the wallet. That's been a development for a lot of these different wallet interfaces. But for me, if you're looking for interoperability with your crypto and 2FA, and you have, exclusive access to your private keys, hardware wallets are great. Ledger is great. Trezor is great for dealing with interoperability. I've only ever used Ledger. That's why all my tutorials are there. Haven't had any bad experiences with it, so that's why I continue to talk about it.
Yep.
If you're talking about, keeping coins on an exchange like Binance, I will never store any more than like 10% of my portfolio on an exchange just to mitigate risk. Binance does have that insurance fund. I am certainly doing my part to secure my account as best as possible. 2FA, a really secure password that isn't repeated on any other website, VPNs, all that good stuff. And yeah, just... there are some coins you never want to sell, so why would you keep those on an exchange? There's some coins that they don't even have a wallet, or it's pretty difficult to download their own wallet. It's not, integrated with Ledger or whatever, Exodus. So you have to keep it on an exchange. It's kind of a moving target thing. Anyway, next question. Getting interested in Sol or Solana from your videos. Do you think it will be where Ethereum is now in a year or two? Or is this a project that you may cash out of at the end of this bull run? Thanks, and keep up the great work.
I'm definitely going to cash out of some of it.
Yeah.
Probably most of it, like near the end of the bull run, but we'll see. We'll see where everything's headed. As far as like catching up to ETH, like, do you mean like development wise, or like market cap wise? Probably not.
Solana was just launched this year, right?
Yeah.
So even Ethereum in a year or two isn't where it like, you know what I mean? Like Ethereum's been around for many, many years. So Ethereum in a year or two isn't where it was.
Exactly. So things keep rising and catching up. Like for instance, Bitcoin or Ethereum, I think is a larger market cap than last bull run's market cap for Bitcoin. So Solana catching up to ETH, catching all the way up to ETH where it is now.
Within a year or two?
No.
Ethereum
it's not going to reach Ethereum. It could reach close to its market cap. Yeah. But I don't.
Like network effect, I doubt it.
It's
going to take time.
I don't know. They just don't have the development team. They don't have the network effect, and they also don't have the Lindy effect working for them as well. Yeah. Which is the longer something's been around, the longer it's probably going to be around. And so let's just get into Solana. It's got a ways to go, in my opinion, a long way to go, and I really hope that it's around for a long time because, first off, it's not an ETH killer. I think it can benefit ETH a lot. These guys are really smart, and
it wasn't launched specifically to address. As a second layer solution, for example, like Polygon. Like, it's their own thing, so it's not like specifically meant to complement Ethereum in any way, or whatever.
But it might.
Yeah,
it might complement it for sure.
Yeah, you don't know.
Everything's open source, so things can be implemented in different ways for each project. Yeah. And so, I'm incredibly bullish on the Solana ecosystem, and I'm incredibly bullish for the ETH ecosystem, obviously, with our portfolio that our Patreon members can see.
I am most interested in terms of Solana to see when they have a bug or they have an issue, I will be most interested to see how they deal with it. If they're successful at that, if they just, accept that, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like how responsive are they?
Are they going to roll back the blockchain?
Capable are they to yeah, exactly.
Or try? Yeah.
I mean, Ethereum did.
Okay. And
CZ
Binance
tried.
wanted to do it on Bitcoin. So yeah, we'll see. It's brand new. I'm very excited about the project. It has like, I love the fees. I think it's like you can spend $10 and that would send like a million transactions at 3/100th of a millisecond.
Really
That's
fast.
Awesome.
Really,
that
really
is so
fast.
cool. I love it. I love learning about this stuff.
Okay,
Anyways.
last question, guys. Are you ready? I hear you guys mention the word dry powder in your videos, and I'm wondering if yours only consists of fiat or only stablecoins like USDT or a mix of both, fiat and stablecoin, and if so, why? Thanks.
Okay, that's easy. Like
is
our
easy.
dry powder comes every single day in different coins. Like
Staking.
we mint so many different coins
Mint?
by staking. Yeah,
okay.
pretty much staking, farming, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And and our Patreon as well. And
Yeah.
so with that said, we are able to get into different projects whenever we want, and we're always having a fresh supply of dry powder, regardless of where we are in the market.
I mean, the past year we've focused so much on earning a passive income in crypto. I've done so many videos on staking, how to do it. We've done videos on lending. So that's really our goal, is to have as many streams of passive income as possible and to use that to your benefit to accumulate into other positions that you want to get into without maybe dipping into your funds that might hurt you otherwise, or that you want to save up or whatever. So it is rarely that we use fiat to get into these positions, which is extremely easy and KYC free. So for those of you who are interested to mitigate your KYC risk, look into these different passive incomes that pay you in crypto. Also, stablecoins. In terms of stablecoins, we don't use Tether very often. We're definitely more interested in using things like USDC or GUSD or BUSD if we're on Binance, or DAI if we're using a DeFi platform. Tether is just, it's had its run of being cloudy, and now there's a lot of other competitors in stablecoin, so we're choosing those over Tether.
I mean, most of you probably didn't see this, but this guy Ben Rickards we follow, really smart guy. He was on
The Big Short.
The Big Short, okay. And
Not personally, someone played him.
He's that guy that was helping those two kids out to fund, their short.
Yeah.
And so he's a really smart guy. Follow him a lot. And,
yes, follow him on Twitter.
Definitely love the guy. But he did bring up USDT today, which surprised me. He compared it to Enron. So with that said,
that's good.
No, with that said, I'm not trying to throw FUD at this because I've seen a FUD from USDT.
There's about Tether that are not good.
Sure, but I've seen FUD from Tether for a very long time. Yeah. I'm personally not worried about it. Number one, because there are other options that we can get into now, where before, like Tether was pretty much the only one.
That was a real...
oh my gosh, that was scary.
A real threat was Tether, for sure, because that was really the only option that you had.
And we were planning on buying a place, and we had to put it in Tether. I'm like, oh geez.
It worked.
Yeah. I was stressed at night when I'd see Tether FUD, and I'd be like wide awake at night going, oh my gosh, how am I going to sleep? No more.
Okay, that's going to wrap it up for today's AMA session. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we got one more coming, so don't miss it.
Stay disobedient, guys. Bye-bye.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah.